Hey everybody, welcome to the real United States, and we are here again in New York City, and we are at the High Line, or simply High Line Park, and we are on the corner of 10th Avenue and 17th Street, and just outside of Chelsea Market. Now the High Line is a approximately 1.5 mile long linear park. Now, in a previous episode, a couple of years ago, we talked about a linear state park that was used up in Michigan as a snowmobile trail. Well, this is a linear park, meaning it's very narrow and long, but this is not a snowmobile park. This is a walking park. And what it is it is a piece of the Western Central Railroad here in New York that was disused, and it was becoming an eyesore. It was ugly. And they were trying to figure out what to do with it, and they decided to turn it into an elevated park. And that's the interesting thing about the High Line, is it is in fact 30 feet above the street. So they took this piece of old railroad and turned it into this beautiful, well-landscaped park. Now I chose this particular spot to open here because one of the cool things about it is part of this actually stretches over 10th Avenue here, and there is a living theater. And what that is it is an amphitheater with a glass front that is above 10th Avenue, and it has bleacher-like seats in it, and it allows people to come in and sit and watch right straight down the length of 10th Avenue, so people can watch the traffic and the people walking and whatever sort of festivities might be going on at the time. It's, I don't know if it's unique, but it's certainly one of the rare cases where you have this sort of living theater looking over a road like that. I don't know of another instance like that. Not that's strictly used as an entertainment or a relaxation. Certainly there are walkways and whatnot that are glass to go over roads, but I don't know of another place where you can just go and sit and watch life happen. Anyway, this park runs from up around 34th Street near Penn Station, more or less in a southerly track down along the west side of Manhattan. And they've done a really nice job of paving here with a nice pavers, and done a beautiful job of the landscape. Very demure little roped off area for the plants, just to keep people from stepping on them. And largely people have been very good about respecting the plants. They've planted any variety of a type of plants down here, from just regular small annuals to all the way up to trees. There are some trees growing up here, quite a few of them. They're relatively small. Now this was started in 2006 is when they started the construction of this. The final phase was completed in 2014. So it is a relatively new endeavor. And I understand that it gets like 5 million visitors a year, and this is Memorial Day weekend. I certainly can believe that is true. Now we're going to go up here and try and show you, well, there are some trees up here and a little bit more about the park. So Bev, why don't you go ahead and follow along with me. We'll try not to get run over by anybody as we're doing this.
In these thoughts, myself, sizing happily, I think.
So as I was saying, they do have trees up here as well as bushes and annual plants, all roped off with this nice little demure single line rope, just to keep people from stepping on the plants. It provides some shade, especially in the very hot weather like it is this weekend. And here we've walked up next to the living theater. And you can see this all wood benches, bleachers, if you will. And people just come and watch the traffic, or the goings-on that are down on the street level. It's a little hard to do. Come on along with me, Bev, because there is so much traffic up here.
Stop trying to outthink me! metal structures above ground.
Now you see that there are a lot of benches here for people to sit down. You'll notice there's also some performers. People doing either one-man shows or small troops of about 3 or 4 people doing some performances. I don't know if they're impromptu or if they're rehearsed, but obviously New York, a very big entertainment city with a lot of people in the performing arts, and so there are small troops of either professional or aspiring actors practicing their craft. We're going to keep moving here. We're going to show you this building down here. Now, we're not going to have time on this trip to go ahead and cover this, but this large brick building here in the background is in fact Chelsea Market. Now, Chelsea Market is a market that has got a lot of vendors, different types in it, a lot of food courts down on the first floor. There's also some TV production facilities inside that you may have heard of, like Food Network, and a bunch of others. There's also office buildings and things like that. Now, we'll get to that in a future episode when we get back to New York. But this was, in fact, the National Biscuit Company back in the late 1800s. And as it expanded and expanded, and eventually several companies consolidated to form Nabisco. And in that building right there is where the Oreo cookie was invented and first manufactured. So for those of you that are Oreo fans, that's a big deal. Now, the High Line is a free public park. There's no admission to get up here or anything like that. Every once in a while you will see some vendors up here selling some wares or maybe some refreshments, but the park itself is free. And there are numerous access points that are stairways, and then at about half of those there are also elevators for those of you who either don't like to climb stairs or can't climb stairs. I'm going to try and find out how many there are and put it in the description below how many there are of stairs, how many have elevators. But the one we came up here right near Chelsea Market does have an elevator. It's very nice. It's a glass elevator, and it's very convenient right from the street corner. So I'd like to thank you for joining us here at Highline Park in downtown New York City. I hope you've enjoyed this short visit. I hope that if you haven't already, you'll come along and join us for the adventure and pick subscribe. We'd appreciate that. If you got questions or comments, put them in the comment section below. I love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody I possibly can. And as always, thank you for watching.